First, I would like to recognize the vision and the stewardship of the university's trustees. And next, President Werner. My deep appreciation and admiration for all you have done in leading the university to greatness. Other honored guests, and most especially the class of 1962. It's good to see so many of you here and looking so healthy. To parents, family, and friends, and all those students, especially those of you who are about to graduate. I'm honored deeply to be here with you on this special day. No doubt each of you, your families, and your friends share a sense of excitement as this important achievement in your life unfolds. Many people have helped me over the course of my life, and especially those years I spent here at Indiana, then Indiana State Teachers College. Some are with us today, including my wonderful wife, Barbara, and other close family members. I know how proud my parents would have been to witness this occasion. I'm sure that you too are thinking of people who have helped you to become who you are and have wanted what is best for you in life. How pleased they would be to know that you feel they have made a difference in your life. Please take a silent moment to ponder that. As for me, years ago I joined with fellow students awaiting graduation to commence. That spring day was bright and clear, and a family album of photographs shows me bedecked in a robe that I think was about 2 sizes too big. I was standing alongside my proud family with Fisher Auditorium in the background. The photo betrays my confident air because my expression is mixed with joy as well as the doubt of not knowing what was to happen next. Many of my friends had already gone off to serve our nation in what was then known as the Korean conflict. Like today, the job market was slow and uncertain. And at that time, I'm sure I had no idea of how my experiences at Indiana were to influence the future of my life, especially in such profound ways. So now, my role at this stage of our program is to speak to you as a keynoter. And like a choral assistant, I am to establish a tone that is befitting this occasion. And to do so, I have chosen 3 short stories of how my life as an educator and an artist has been shaped by dedicated professors, teachers here at Indiana. My first story, Mrs. Gaslander, a free-spirited woman whose life as an artist educated during the late 1920s in and around bohemian Greenwich Village of New York City, was a professor in the art department. She sent her freshman class, including me, out into October's autumn air to do several sketches of what nature had to offer on campus. I wandered over to the oak grove, got comfortable on a bench, and began to draw with a stick of charcoal. Soon Mrs. Gaslander stood near me, looked over my shoulder, and asked me if I knew that I was drawing an oak tree. Of course, I replied. Acorns are all over the ground. Gently and with careful effort not to offend my immature confidence, this wonderful woman explained how the lower branches of an oak bend downward and the upper branches reach upward. Then, with a deft hand, she drew an example of how those branches spiraled and overlapped. She continued her little demonstration and talked with me in tones that convinced me that she loved what she was doing, helping me to take my time to see and observe, to appreciate the nuances of perception, to begin a lifelong process of study, leading to thoughtful observation. Her positive advice and encouragement, always offered with an artist's can-do spirit, continued throughout my Indiana years. Another story, Professor Burggraff, with his hair parted in the middle, his horn-rimmed glasses perched high on his nose, his comfortably wearing a worn tweed jacket, was assigned to teach us who were outside of the music department music appreciation. That was a tough job. Equipped with new high-fidelity a phonograph and a wonderful collection of recordings, Mr. Burggraff introduced us to musical form. With the aid of sound equipment that few of us had heard before, he illustrated counterpoint with Bach's Jesu, Joy of Man's Desiring. Once he knew that students such as myself were interested in possibly enjoying the music he was sharing, he became enthusiastic. He illustrated words of sound, foreign and delightful, Prokofiev, Wagner, Mozart, Saint-Saëns, and some of Verdi's wonderful operas, all packed into those few hours a week when our virgin ears perked to learn of complex musical worlds that I soon learned to know were cutting to the core of my emotions. I learned to hide my tears of joy from my classmates by closing my eyes and pretending to sleep. Keep in mind that the time I'm telling you about was the 1950s, the early 1950s. Then my roommate and I were often listening to WKPA out of New Kensington, where cool jazz iced the airwaves, and rock and roll was signaling its beginnings out of Pittsburgh's African-American radio broadcasts. Professor Burggraff led me to an early understanding and appreciation of the complexities of musical form, inversions, progressions, tone clarity, and most of all, musical unity and teamwork. Music also served my fascination with symbol coding and reading different forms of communication, as well as aspects of creative problem solving. My experiences during that term helped me to listen with care and to enjoy the process of deepened understanding that leads to appreciation and valuing life experiences. I don't believe that Mr. Burggraff ever thought that his appreciation class registered with many of his students. It certainly did with me, and I often wish I had told him so. My third story. Dr. Boardman and Dr. Hayes created a unique team approach to teaching communications as a foundation course here at Indiana. These two bright and articulate women worked together to experiment with their course of study, especially with art majors whom they assumed were not taking the time to read, especially journals and intellectual commentary. A first requirement was to subscribe to two magazines, the Atlantic Monthly and the Saturday Review. Reading and discussing the topics of these literary magazines made this course of study unique and certainly a challenge. We were also required to research and prepare a term paper on a topic of our interest. At that time, the Saturday Review ran a series of articles on what I have learned by prominent figures in the worlds of science and the arts. And while reading for that class, Buckminster Fuller's article came and caught my imagination as he described his experiences at Black Mountain College in North Carolina. Fuller, a renowned architect, inventor, and intellect, wrote about his intense and productive experiences while they are working cooperatively with scientists, writers, poets, engineers, and artists. Many of Fuller's fellow intellectuals had escaped from the impending political turmoil in Germany and Eastern Europe. Their studies and work together at Black Mountain led to significant accomplishments in the world of science, the arts, and literature. The program at this small college, where student enrollment never went beyond 75, illustrated the value of enabling scientists, artists, and engineers to create and work together as productive teams. To say the least, I was impressed deeply. Dr. Hayes and Boardman encouraged me to direct my term paper research toward Black Mountain College, and their steady support, prodding, and sharp questions proved to be a guiding force much later in my life when I led the creation of the Pennsylvania's Governor's School program. That program has served thousands of talented and gifted students throughout Pennsylvania and influenced 38 other states to develop similar schools. No doubt Dr. Boardman and Dr. Hayes helped to shape the basis of my understanding and eventual vision of how the sciences and the arts are fundamental to quality education. Their imaginative teaching helped to shape my lifetime of work as an advocate and champion for the arts, as well as the sciences, to be basic components of education. And so I've sounded my keynote with these 3 vignettes of my memorable experiences at Indiana. Let me repeat their essence. First, to see and observe carefully and patiently as you work with loving care. Next, to understand form and structure as a basis of problem solving. Listen for enjoyment and understanding of what others may be saying. Your deepened understanding will be followed by a sense of appreciation and value. And last, to reach out to others within the world of science as well as the arts, expressing confidently your vision of work to be done, while keeping an open mind toward the possibilities of what others can do through teamwork. I'm convinced that if you see this important day in your life story as an increment of your continuing education, your future will be exciting and invigorating, no doubt demanding. Soon you will be looking beyond the range of immediate experience as you assess, predict, judge, take risks, create, and see things put together differently. Time ahead of you is precious. Your staying power will be tested, and you will be challenged to trust in your own as well as the talents of others. You will come to sense and know what is necessary, positive, and beautiful. May your memories of experiences here at Indiana be as deep and as meaningful as mine have been. Best wishes to each of you in all that you do. Congratulations.